The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life. Aging starts at the cellular level. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries. During that period, key patented compounds have focused on mitochondrial growth, nerve growth, and rejuvenation. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. We now have the synergistic solution, DNA Force, just one of the key compounds. BioPQQ is backed by major clinical studies and over 175 PubMed-listed published studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life. A programmable guy that goes and watches Olympus Is Falling and believes all this and really thinks you're a hero. G.I. Joe, great American hero. Yo, Joe. You don't work for Joe. Joe got taken over. The G.I. Joe command base is run by Cobra. Do you understand that? And I use a child analogy to get through to you because that's your main programming template in North America. They're on record with that. That was all Pentagon directed. You understand? You work for Cobra. You dress like Cobra. You have the tactics of Cobra. You are Cobra. Hail Cobra. You want to be little boys? Or do you want to really join the Republic?
They know what's going on at the Bundy Ranch, and they won't even let a police information officer give us any information. That's a bunch of bullshit.
It's all these stupid G.I. Joe movies and stuff where the White House is attacked. The White House is run by Cobra.
When I went through the process of becoming press secretary, one of the first things they told me was, you're not even to acknowledge the drone program. You're not even to discuss that it exists.
It's run by chaos. It's run by Spectre.
Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, Extortion.
They run little kids. They run the snuff films. They run the drugs. They run it all. And because you act like a bunch of naive chumps, this whole thing's going to come down on us.
Very much concerns me, considering that they have all this bulk ammunition that they're shooting targets of children.
Would you like to tell me who it is that is doing this?
It is the Department of Homeland Security, sir.
Oh, thank you for calling.
To every police officer in this country, to every FBI agent, to every Secret Service agent, you work for Spectre. You work for Chaos. You work for Cobra. How do they get power? They stage a terror attack using Spectre, using Cobra.
Go f*** yourself.
Who is Cobra? Arms dealing, drug dealing, money laundering group wearing masks. They wear masks, ladies and gentlemen, because they're the corporate CEOs. And they're manipulating the governments against each other. Cobra runs the Muslims. Cobra runs the CIA. Cobra runs it all. Cobra is real. You can call it whatever you want. Cobra is in control of America. And Cobra says the veterans and the gun owners, they're saying that we're the bad guys.
These people who hold themselves out to be patriots are not. They're nothing more than domestic terrorists.
That's what Cobra would say. That's what Spectre would say. That's what Goldfinger would say, because that's who those people are.
I am Supreme Cobra Commander. You call your petty bureaucrats, officials, and authorities. You will kneel before Cobra or face my wrath.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Cobra Leader.
You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra?
Jakari Jackson put that piece together, and now look how it's mainstream news that our own government, we should do an updated version, is running and arming al-Qaeda, renaming it ISIS, and then making our military go fight them. Oh, our military is fighting real terrorists and dying in many cases. But the globalists above that funded it so they'd have a pretext to have trillions in weapons production and sales, hundreds of billions in money laundering, and control and destabilization of the planet. They destabilized the Middle East, bringing al-Qaeda in with Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Qatar. They destabilized the U.S. by shutting off our power plants, opening the borders, and telling the world, well, no matter what virus you've got, no matter what disease you've got, come here, we'll pay for it all, and we won't even pick up felons. We won't even pick up criminals and bank robbers. When they're illegal aliens, we'll order the police to release them. Well, it's time to start saying no. We are living in a science fiction movie. It's so wild what's going on. I don't know, I've said this 1,000 times, I'll say it again, how anybody could say they were bored. Or how people could go spend all their time watching football. Or spend all their time doing petty things when huge real things are going on. Now listen, if you spent a few hours a day fighting tyranny, I would get wanting to go watch football. Or I would get wanting to go to the Caribbean. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch a football game, or you shouldn't want to go on a trip, or you shouldn't want to go have fun, or go play poker with your buddies, or, you know, if your ladies go out and do whatever you're doing, get your nails done, go play golf or whatever, or tennis. It's that's all people do, or they're too busy taking care of their kids and working 3 jobs. Meanwhile, they're giving people vaccines all over the country directly linked to all these mystery illnesses and paralysis and kids dying. All these superbugs are coming across the border. And now the Border Patrol came out last week and said, get ready for a super surge. Of course, first wave gets in, gets all the services. They call home and say, yeah, come up to Norte. It's all free. And I'm not talking about Norte from Mexico. Mexico's El Norte to Central and South America. And those places are scary. Very scary. I challenge you to go down there. I've been down there. Won't be going back. There's some areas in Chile. There's some areas, you know, that are nice, beautiful, some of the most beautiful places in the world. But if you're not out in a rural area, man, I tell you, the big cities and Guatemala, period, is like the kidnapping capital of the world. It's so frightening. And that's all coming here. And you go talk to the illegals, they go, yeah, we're fleeing socialism and the kidnapping and the murders and everything, and we're here to get free health care. We played that video yesterday. Well, don't you understand that'll make it collapse here? Well, yes, but I'll do okay until it does. At least they know what's going on. I don't blame people trying to flee that. Just like I don't dislike water. I like water. But if a dam breaks and I'm under 100 feet of it, I'm going to die. Water's great to drink. Water's beautiful. Water's nice. You got to have it to live. But you take hundreds of millions of people all over the world, not just the Middle East, Africa, China, Eastern Europe. They're just pouring in and getting on the dole and becoming political vassals of the Democratic Party. And the Republican leadership's part of it. They've all invested in China and India. They just want to get sold out. They don't care. They're going to live behind big, armored, gated communities. This is a planned program on record. Because it's easy to break things. It's easy to cheat. It's easy to bring down countries. It's hard to be honest and build something and work with folks and to be chivalrous. Look at this article that I didn't get to for 2 days. I'm going to mention it now. GMOs may be to blame for spike in kids suffering from inflammatory bowel disease. Now, I read an article like this by Christina Sarich, who does a great job for Infowars.com. A lot of her articles get linked on Drudge and everywhere else. Excellent writer. One of the largest studies to date conducted by researchers from the University Hospital Case Medical Center, Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital, has found a dramatic increase in inflammatory bowel conditions, IBD, in children in the U.S. in the last decade, likely due to eating GMOs. In fact, guys, I meant to cover this yesterday. Will you re-pull me the article about it making the pigs die? Same corn. Pigs die. Of course, I didn't need to know about a study. I have a lot of friends and family in farming and ranching, and they remember 15 years ago they would not buy the BT corn, even though it's cheap for the pigs, because a lot of their pigs would swell up and die. And by the way, pigs can eat anything. But when pigs start losing weight and pigs have diarrhea all the time, an irritable bowel that's on the rise, farmers were like, hey, I'm not going to feed this to my hogs anymore. I don't know what it is, but it's killing the pigs, Alex. You right about your show, killing them pigs. And by the way, I'm not making fun of some of my friends and family. That's how they are. I mean, they're good people. But that's how they talk. And I'm a city slicker from Dallas, so I talk like this, see? But I am of hillbilly stock big time. But that's what I'm getting at here, is that I had family who are farmers 15 years ago say, you got to talk about these GMO crops. They killing the hogs. All they know is they lose money. So that's what's going on this front. And I see this article. I remember all the other German studies, you name it, on honeybees dying. And they would find gut disorders in their little tummies. When they would come feed off the pollen from BT corn being planted in Europe and the United States, it would kill the honeybees. And it's a cocktail of things killing them, pesticides and other things. There's another report out. Pesticides are causing farmers to become suicidally depressed. Farmers who use insecticides 90% more likely to be diagnosed with depression. And guys, there's a typo right there in the headline. Likely to be diagnosed. Probably the computer did that. But there's that report. It goes through that study. While the incidence of irritable bowel disorder has caused many hospitalizations, the reason behind the disease are unclear, except for one culprit: the consumption of genetically modified ingredients. This mostly from school lunches, eating processed GMO foods at the time in restaurants. And then they go over what the study found. In the Journal of Investigative Medicine, there has been a 65% increase in IBD hospital discharges from 2000 to 2009 alone. The number increased from 11,928 in 2000 to 19,568 in 2009. This is the latest numbers because it took 3 years of the study, or 4 years. IBD refers to inflammatory conditions associated with irritation of the colon and small intestine. As you may recall, Danish farmers noticed the same problem in their pigs who were fed GMO feed. They were affected so badly their guts were bleeding in many cases, and they were also suffered increased fertility issues. Yeah, can't have babies anymore. Gee, Bill Gates and Monsanto come out with this. All they talk about is reducing fertility in humans, and then the pigs can't have babies. In research also conducted in Italy, mice fed Monsanto's BT corn showed a wide range of immune responses. Look, I'm going to stop right there, but let me just explain something. This is just one form of GM, one of the oldest, been around 30 years. There's a whole bunch of different types that either grow their own pesticides. I'm sure you've heard that they're, quote, corn crops. Farmers are gearing up right now to produce the new Ebola vaccines with corn. And people say, well, how is that happening? The corn grows the virus. Okay? The corn grows the virus. I'm going to say it again. The corn grows the virus, then they go attenuate it.